Guys, welcome back to the Lifted podcast. We have our second guest ever, Hayley. I actually stalked her on social media. That's how I found her. And then we just kind of sat down, had a coffee, and we vibed right away. And we vibed over social media.
Of course.
Like, of course we did. So, welcome onto the Lifted podcast.
Thank you for having me. It's so much fun because I followed you when I lived back in like Prince George. And I remember thinking like your videos were so fun because I occasionally liked getting stoned before going to the gym. And I was like, this is so fun. I haven't seen this before. And then here we are.
Yeah, and okay, so I didn't know that. So like we sat down, had coffee, everything, and she told me this end of the conversation, and I was like, "Oh my God," as if. I was like, "What?" I literally had no idea that you like actually followed me, whatever. And then I was like, "Dude, like come on my podcast. Like we got to figure out what we can talk about." Yeah, and you've been on social media for a while, right?
Yeah. So back in like, I want to say 2015-ish, maybe it was longer than that, but 2015-ish, I just like had Instagram for fun. It was like fairly new, I feel like, still at that point. But I won like a giveaway from like Makeup Forever, I think it was. And they were doing like a giveaway with like for a 50 Shades of Grey collection.
Love that.
And so they sent me like probably like, I don't know, like $500 worth of makeup. And then, so from then I was like, okay, perfect. I have makeup. And like, it was when like beauty content was like all over the place, all the beauty YouTubers. So I was like, I'm just going to take pictures of me with my makeup and it'll be great. And I was not good. Like, it was terrible.
Yo, as it always is. You always start out and you're like, "Oh my God, my stuff is so good." And then you look back and you're like,
Yeah,
"Oh
I'm like,
my
take
God.
those down now.
Who posted that? Was that me?"
But I did end up getting like kind of okay at it. And it was kind of fun. And I started working with like some like makeup brands. I got like almost quite a few PR lists, like with Morphe and stuff. Like they'd reshare my work. And I was like, this is the coolest thing ever. So that was it. And then I specialized in like eye makeup looks. I would like draw little pictures on my eye. Or just do
Cool.
like eye photos. I never really actually started creating like YouTube content or anything, but I started with makeup and then branched into like self-love when I was really struggling with my body. And I wanted to like inspire people to like do something nice instead of like I felt like maybe showing people like an eye makeup look isn't that inspiring. It's not that cool. It's more just like, hey, this is my form of art where I wanted to like inspire people to like feel better about themselves or actually like help people in some way where I felt like I wasn't really doing that.
Like with the makeup stuff, you weren't
Yeah.
helping people.
I didn't really feel like it because it wasn't like I was doing tutorials. Like I wasn't like doing the YouTube like tutorials. Like I feel like if I did that, like maybe, but I was just
Yes.
posting like, here's a really cool picture of my eye makeup. There you go. Merry Christmas.
Yeah.
I don't know what else you want from me.
But like I feel like that can happen is like when you first get on social media or even when you're on social media for a while, it's like you get caught up in like, getting the free stuff and like maybe you're getting the makeup for free or people were paying you and you kind of get caught up in that sometimes. Or like if you're really practicing something, like if you're doing the eye makeup looks and you're getting really good at them, like you can just fall into like a rabbit hole of like, I'm just going to keep posting this. And then all of a sudden, I think that's the thing about social media is you can really change. Like people fucking change. And I think that people aren't okay with it sometimes. But like you're allowed to change and you're allowed to change like your whole image and what you're posting and whatever. So it's cool that you were able to do that. So with the body image stuff, like what do you want to go a little bit into that?
Yeah. So I was like really, really thin and had like struggled with like some eating disorder things when I was in first year of university and in high school. Um, really not healthy. Like was like maybe like 100 pounds, which I know I'm tiny, but like that was not good. Like my bones were sticking out. I did not look great. And then I drastically gained weight. I feel like that was partially to like university, life stress, poor eating habits, working out habits, but also I have some health issues like PCOS, which don't help that at all. They definitely contribute to weight gain too. And then I just didn't feel comfortable in my body anymore. Like none of my clothes fit. And at that time I was going through like some big life changes where I wanted to look really good. And I spent so many days like crying about like, I have nothing to wear. I don't want to go in public. I don't want people to see me. And so I decided to just start posting more photos about like my body. And I'd post little things of like, it's okay to like size up of like picturing your shorts, like not being able to be buttoned and be like, you can size up. It's okay. Like your clothes don't dictate your size. And at my heaviest, I was probably around like 210, 215-ish. And that was really hard. It was hard going from like being very thin and then going to a very large body weight. And I felt like nobody really I know that people do relate to that, but nobody that I knew was going through like a body change like that. And it was really not great on my mental health. And I started going to the gym and I felt like I was working out and doing the right things and it still wasn't helping. And yeah, it's caused like a lot of body issues even still now. I feel like I struggle with my body a lot because I did lose some weight and then now I've gained a couple pounds back. And I just like, I feel like I'm looking at myself back when I was like 210, 215 pounds. And I know I'm not. And even if I was, that's not a bad thing. But it's really hard to like not see yourself at like your worst image.
Yeah, 100%. I was actually talking to a girl the other day just talking about like how you can you can look so great today. Like you can look amazing, but then sometimes you look back at photos or you look at whatever and you're comparing to like the old you or like you at in a different year and you're like, oh, fuck off. I look great because in a year you're going to go and look at it and you're going to be like, wow, a year ago I looked great, but you were like beating yourself up. It's like we're our worst critics like all the time. So
Yeah.
it's cool that you're posting like stuff like, oh, it's okay to size up and stuff because I feel like people don't fucking post about that. And I think I actually post a lot about like bulking and like I know I've posted a couple things about bulking and cutting and the girls are always like, oh my God, like I've never like if you're not really in the fitness scene, you don't really see a lot of
Yeah.
that, which I totally understand. And some of the girls are like, I've never seen someone like post like they're bulking and be like, oh, I'm actually really proud of this bulk or like gaining weight or whatever. And I think people need to be so much more open about that because it helps people feel more comfortable and it helps people be like, and sometimes you can't help it. Sometimes it just happens or life happens or you're in university and like university just kind of fucks up your life. Let's be
It
fucking
really does.
honest. Like, but when you were in that spot, like how did that affect like your social media? Like when you were like, you know, you said you gained weight and then you lost weight and then you said you gained weight. So like how did that affect like how people kind of treated you online or like how you portrayed yourself essentially?
Yeah. So when I was like first starting social media, right, it was a makeup stuff, so nobody really saw my face. And then I have been open about this before, is then for the first little bit when I was posting makeup before posting self-love, is I actually used to edit my photos quite a bit to make myself look thinner. Like I posted when I was posting self-love content about how I actually could not tell you what I looked like for a couple years because I controlled my images so much that I didn't have like a raw image. I didn't let people take photos of me. I don't know what I looked like for that period of time,
Wow.
um, which is kind of sad. But then when I started posting more of like the mid to plus size things, I was posting like outfits and like I said, like body positivity, self love, self confidence kind of stuff. I did gain quite a like not a quite like I don't have a huge following, but like I did gain some followers and stuff based on that who liked that kind of content. Which is great. I also gained a lot of hate during that time. Like I had my first 1 million view video was people giving me like the meanest things you've ever said in your life about how terrible I looked and how awful I looked for being overweight. Like we're talking like death threats. People said like my mom should be disappointed in me. But it was nice because there were so many like great supporting people in there. The part that I kind of struggled with though was then when like I started losing weight and like partially intentionally, like I always still wanted to get back to a healthier body, but at the time it wasn't necessarily that it was intentional. Part of it was not healthily, like we were partying quite a bit at that time. I did eat maybe slightly a bit better at some points and I was working out quite a bit, but I can contribute to my weight loss to unhealthy habits at that time. But when I did start to lose weight, a couple things happened. One, I felt like people like didn't really vibe maybe as much with my content. Maybe that's wrong. That was just the impression I got, was that the people who were following me because they liked the plus size kind of content didn't love that anymore because I had lost some weight. I feel like it's really nuanced and I feel like it's probably controversial to say, but I feel like in the like self-love and body positivity kind of realm, there is a lot of controversy about intentional weight loss and losing weight, and it's maybe not always perceived as like a positive thing. So I kind of struggled with that internally. Like I didn't want to talk about like, oh my God, I'm losing weight, because that could be portrayed as like a negative within that community sometimes, and it's like very very stressful to talk about.
Yeah, like because I know you had mentioned that before, and I never even thought that that would be a thing that like, you know, you are posting this content and then all of a sudden you lose weight, whether it's intentional or not fucking intentional. Like, what? I would just be like, I feel like I would just support someone anyways, but that's just who I am.
Hmm.
It's just crazy that like people wouldn't support that because but I guess it makes sense because they relate to you at a certain size, but at the
Hmm.
same time it's like, "Oh my God, don't you want to support me?" Like
Yeah.
that's just crazy for me. Um but it does make sense. So disregarding like the followers and stuff, but also, okay, let's talk about your post for a second. The one that went viral. So you got a lot of hate on, like, I can fucking relate. Like, yo, I get so much hate on some of my posts. It's so ridiculous. You guys are crazy online, okay? Like, honestly, just back off. But you had one that was like a couple million.
It was 1 million, yeah. And it was
Okay.
like,
And
do
you
you,
were getting like how
do you remember that like it was a trending audio at the time where it was like, if you had to rate yourself on a scale of 1 to 10, what would you rate yourself? And the girl's like, I'm a 10. And it was like me in a bikini at like 200 pounds being like, yeah, I'm a 10. He's like, are you sure? And you're like, yeah, I'm a 10. And people were mad,
really?
like
Okay,
not
but how
happy.
did that affect you? Like seeing those comments? Like how did you kind of deal with that?
Mentally was not good because if you're already struggling with your body, to have a million people tell you like you suck does not help that, in case anybody cares. Like if you're wanting to like motivate somebody to like be healthier or lose weight, going then and shaming them on the internet is not going to help anything. Like that's not going to motivate somebody or want them, like make them want to like get healthier. That's not helpful.
Yeah.
And I remember for like a couple weeks it was like very depressing because it gained so much traction. It just like felt like it wasn't stopping. And every time I looked, it was like more comments. And they were mostly from men telling me how awful I was and how terrible I was. And like, you're going to get diabetes and you're going to have a heart attack and you're going to die. And I was like, wow, thank you for this. So motivational.
Like
Like, what do you want from me here?
I couldn't even imagine like writing that. Like
Right?
honestly, typing that out, I'd be like, what am I doing?
And like, why do you care that? Like, I've never cared about somebody's post on the online so much that I want to like go and leave hate comments. But I was like, okay, fair. But it was like really hard. Like, I remember like I probably cried for days. Like,
Yeah.
days and days. And I remember being like, this is so sad. And then having like people in my life be like, well, you put yourself on the internet. Like, what do you expect? And I'm like, I didn't really expect people to be so mean though. Like, I don't expect people to always be supportive, but just from like where I come from a place of like empathy and like love and support that I never would consider doing that to somebody. So I guess it just never really crossed my mind.
Yeah. Yeah. And to just honestly read all of those, like it doesn't, you're right, it doesn't help anyone lose weight. It doesn't help you want to do anything. You're
Yeah, like I just
literally
want to
just
cry
like,
in bed.
yeah, you're like, I just want to be more depressed. Like this is awful. Like
Yeah.
why would people say this?
Yeah, like
Like
it's not gonna make me go to the gym faster. It's not gonna make me run faster. Like I'm sorry, this isn't helpful to anybody. Like if you want to motivate somebody, there's good ways to do it.
there's
Shaming
better
them
ways.
is not the way to go.
It's not at all. That's crazy. And so was that your biggest post, like the million?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
had like maybe a couple 100,000 one on TikTok that kind of blew up too, and that one I had to create a whole new TikTok after that because it just kept gaining like the like when not, you it's kind of built something so then it keeps pushing your videos to the wrong audience and that's kind of what happened. So had to rebuild a whole TikTok after that, but that was definitely the biggest one.
Wow. Yeah.
It was a hate post that went viral.
It's crazy. It's always the hate.
Of
It's always the
course.
hate ones. So like disregarding like all of the, because you got quite a few followers. So like disregarding that, like just, being real with like everything that you've been through and just like with the gaining weight and with you, being in, I'm sure it's just, we're all in like not so good mental places sometimes, especially when
Fair.
people are fucking hating on us on the internet. But like what were you feeling in that moment? Like what were you feeling in all of it, in the place where you were gaining weight and then your followers kind of not turned against you, but like you felt that way, you know?
Yeah, so I think when I first started posting it, it felt one really good, but at the same time, it kind of is scary to put all of your insecurities out there. It feels like in one sense freeing, but on the other hand, like taking pictures of all the things that you hate the most about yourself and sharing them is like very vulnerable. So I struggled with that for a bit, and then when I was losing weight, I really struggled about how do I post because I don't really feel like I am, yeah, like relatable anymore. And then also I'd get like whenever I posted anything, and I realized I did it to myself by posting about my body. I put a focus on my body unintentionally, right? But then like I didn't realize how much people were paying attention specifically to my body. So then when I'd post like the like ask me anything kind of question things, all of them are about my body. Like, does your partner like you better now that you've lost weight? What do you do to lose weight? How did you lose weight? Everything was about my body and not like it just took away from like me as a person. I'm like, wow, I just didn't realize like everyone was paying attention so much to my weight and nothing else.
Yeah. Well, and like you're going into it with like the best intentions, being like, oh, I'm just trying to like help other people going through this, or like you're literally putting yourself in such a vulnerable place. I mean, I think anyone is that's putting anything on social media,
Yeah,
like
you
no
do
matter
too.
what it is, 100%, like everyone does. But like you don't think about like, okay, yeah, I'm being so intentional about this, and you're just trying to fucking help people.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden you're like, well, why does everyone just care about this? And it's like, yeah, you're posting about it, but also like you're trying to be like a good person with all
Hmm.
of this. So
Yeah,
that's,
it's a struggle for sure. Like, and it's not that I feel like everybody like necessarily turned against me. That wasn't it. It was more just like that like the focus was purely on my body, and well, I was trying to like inspire others to like just like love themselves. I wasn't trying to focus on necessarily like my body, if that makes sense. Like the whole conversation wasn't supposed to be about like how I look or how my body is. Besides, like if you want to buy clothes, here's what they look like on my size. But then realizing that that's really what people cared about was like the size I am.
but it's not like you're out here being like, oh my God, everyone fucking look at my body, like whatever. You're literally just being like, you're almost relating to people that are your size. It would just be like me posting about the same kind of shit. And it's just like, people that like say people that look like you, people that look like me, like they're gonna
Hmm.
relate because we probably go through some of the same shit, you
Yeah, or
know?
you want to see what the clothes look like. Like if I
100%.
see you in those leggings and she's about my size, right? Like I want to look like that. Okay, now I know what size to buy and I know they'll look good on me.
Yeah.
Or no, they're gonna look bad because I don't like that. Like, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. That's crazy. Do you have like a worse social media story? This is so random, but do you have anything that you're just like, aside from your million, do you have anything that you're just like, oh my God, this is awful?
No, I feel like that was the one. The one thing that like I don't think people realize though, this is the funniest part about the whole thing to me, is if you're gonna like hate on people on the internet, maybe like lock down your socials first because 90% of those people like click on their profile and they'd have like I work here. And I'm like, if you're gonna tell me and send me like a death threat or like send me something like really violent or about how like ugly and like disgusting I am, like maybe don't like blast your employer in your profile.
I will come to your fucking work. I'm just
Like
kidding.
there's so many times where I'm like, you sent me the meanest thing I've ever seen in my life, and like you're representing your company.
You know what it
Maybe don't.
You know what it always is? It's always the like the married men or the someone that's got a girlfriend or like a whole family in their like profile picture, and you're like, "Oh my God, dude, like you have a whole family and you also have daughters and you're fucking coming and hating on my post." Like imagine if the wife saw that. I would be like, "Yo, like what are you doing posting on this like random girl's post? Like what, first of all, why the fuck are you hating on her post? Second, why are you commenting on people's shit?" I'd be like,
Yeah.
dude,
And like
chill.
what if like your daughter ends up struggling with their weight or something and like then she sees that these are the kind of comments you leave on people's things. Like it's so sad. And that like I really feel for actually like girlfriends and wives and like kids of people who like leave things like that
Oh my
cuz
God.
I just you have to live with that. Somebody who thinks that way about people.
Yeah, I'm like, that is on the internet forever. Like, crazy, crazy shit.
Do you have a worse social media story?
Oh, do I have a worse one? Oh,
If you're really bad one, I'd love to hear it.
oh my God, I actually fucking do. Oh my God. I totally forgot this happened. So, this is actually so embarrassing. This was like the okay, so when I started my TikTok, it was probably like 2021. And not to make this about me, this is not about me. This is about you, but this is
I still
funny
want to hear
shit.
it.
So when I started, like I was kind of like you, like I was posting about modeling and you were posting about your eyeshadow stuff. I like had really like that was just kind of what I was into. We post about
Hmm.
shit that we're into,
Of
right?
course.
So I was posting about modeling. I like thought I was like hot shit, whatever. And I posted this one and I was like I sounded like, first of all, I'm Canadian and I was in New Zealand, so everyone that saw this was in fucking New Zealand. I think they think Canadians have this like bitchy kind of accent because we're like, I don't know, that's just how we are, whatever. And I like accentuated my accent in this fucking post. I wish I could find it because it's so funny. But they call like they call gummies lollies. Like we call like gummy bears and shit. Like we just call them gummies. Like we think
Mm-hmm.
it's fucking funny, whatever. Someone told me that they're called lollies and I was like, that's so dumb. That sounds so stupid. That is so dumb. So then I literally made this whole TikTok. It's like 6 seconds and I was like, guys, it's not lollies, it's gummies. And I thought I was gonna die in New Zealand. The amount of hate I got on this post is crazy. And I was just like, I thought I was funny. I literally thought it was the funniest shit. I actually was scared to walk down the street. I think it got millions. I think it was like 2 million or something, just like yours. And I was literally like crying in bed. I was like, why am I getting so much hate on this post?
It
Like,
was for fun.
I thought it was funny. And I was like, this is fucking hilarious in my mind. Wasn't funny, got so much hate. It was awful. So yeah, but then I also had another one on YouTube. It got like 2 million or something. It was crazy. And I was just in the gym. I literally was just giving like back exercises or something.
Mm-hmm.
And everyone's like I was wearing a sports bra and some shorts, and everyone's just like hating on me. But it was all like dads and like fucking, yeah, all their names was probably like fucking Bill or something. No hate to Bills, but whatever.
Fair.
And yeah, it was just like put some clothes on, like you don't have to look like that at the gym and all this stuff. And I was just like, oh, fuck off. Like we just don't need any hate right now. Like it was so much hate. Yeah, those are probably my worst. I feel like
Yeah.
I've had some pretty bad ones, but
People wildin'.
you just kind of deal. Like, how do
Yeah.
you deal with the hate comments? What do you do? Do you
Usually I
kind
just
of,
blow, like now after that time, like that was the worst time, right? So now I'm like, I kind of just laugh about it. Like somebody tried to tell me the other day, like I did like a video wearing like the Lulu line skirt, and people have really loved the videos around that. I don't know why, like it's blowing up on the internet, the skirt. And so like somebody even asked me if I'll do a whole series on outfits with it. But anyways, I posted a video on the skirt and they were like, I think you need a bigger size. And I just had to giggle because it's like, one, you don't follow me. Why are you like, what? Two, I don't need a bigger size. I like my tiny little skirt. Let me live.
if I want it extra small so my ass hangs out, I'm gonna do that, okay?
Yeah, I will.
Honestly.
I will wear what I want to wear.
Yeah.
And these are great because guess what? My butt's not going to hang out because it's got shorts.
Ah,
But,
joke's on
yeah,
you.
exactly. But now I just like try to just block, delete, and move on. But like if you're going to leave me a hate comment, like 99% of the time, you're gonna just get blocked. And I spent a lot of time even on that like one post I was talking about deleting, blocking people. I have a very extensive block list. I'm not afraid to hand a block out. Yeah,
Love
now it's
that.
like just like delete, block, move on because I realized that like as much as like those things still can impact your mental health for sure, the people that whose opinion do I really care about? The people that like in my life that I love, like my partner, my family, my like close friends, like their opinions are the ones that matter. The random people who like don't even follow me, have never said a word to me, have never seen me, like you don't know me as a person. You can see the one video and you don't like my skirt, and so you feel like you want to say something. Like, fair, you can have your piece, say your piece, and then I'm gonna get rid of your comment. It's
Blocked.
done for both of us.
Yeah, done. Blocked. Easy.
Yeah. Is there a way
Yeah.
you deal with it?
Um, I just kind of try to not think. I mean, I think like what you were saying, like if you already think that about yourself, like if I was insecure about, I don't know, anything,
Mm-hmm.
like literally anything, and if someone says it online, like it fucking hurts because you're like, I'm already insecure about that. Like now you're bringing it up so other people see it. So now
Mm-hmm.
I'm really fucking insecure about it. Like it makes it so much worse. Um, but I definitely like it's really hard because we almost scroll to see the negative comments, which is
Mm-hmm.
so fucked up because we can get like a million nice ones and then all of a sudden we get one mean one and we're like, "Oh my God, I'm focused on that one." But yeah, I really honestly try to just like get it out of my head. Like
Yeah.
I don't really block. I did have this one guy that was commenting on all my TikToks, every single one of them.
Dang.
Every time I posted. And I was like, dude, you gotta fucking go. Like, you gotta go at some point.
Mm.
So I blocked him. But yeah, I try not to like, like think about it so much. But of course it gets to you. Of
Mm-hmm.
course. So I don't know. I just kind of,
You make a really good point though about like
yeah.
that we focus on the negatives because like yeah, we get like so like lots of nice messages like when you have a follower base regardless of size, like people send you really nice things. Like I get like the sweetest messages ever. Like I was just telling her that I like telling you about how I saw like a girl message me about how great like she thinks of you, right? And like, but we kind of forget about that when you see like the one bad thing and you're like, oh, dang, another one. So it's really nice to try to, yeah, focus on the positives instead, and like that you are still doing something and people do like actually care about what you're doing and putting out, instead of just like the people who want to shame people on the internet.
Yeah.
Because like the internet, like social media can be so bad for your mental health if that's what you're focusing on, like comparing yourself and thinking about all the bad things. But it's really nice if you think of it as like a supportive, safe space. And that's what I've always tried to create, like to the best of my ability, is like a safe, supportive, uplifting space. Because I just want like other women to feel like inspired and creative and like love themselves and feel good about themselves. Because I feel like we don't get a lot of that. Like we are always told like you need to look a certain way or dress a certain way or like be a certain way. But I just want people to like just like really be happy being their authentic selves in whatever way that makes them happy.
I love that. I feel like if you have like those sort of intentions when you're posting and when you're just doing anything, like I think it just creates that community for you, you know? And you're
Mm-hmm.
able to actually get that, just the better people around you, better followers, better community. Like
Mm-hmm.
it's, if you have those intentions, it's so much better.
Right. Like I've had such like some people that are so sweet. Like I had one girl and she was like, "Oh my gosh, can you come to my like my prom and graduation?" Like I wasn't able to go or anything, but like I'm like, dang, like see, those are the things we should focus on instead of the
So
like
cute.
random mean comments on the internet.
I actually screenshot. So for a while, I was screenshotting like the cutest messages that I was getting because I wouldn't get them often, like until I started really blowing up. And then
Mm-hmm.
all of a sudden, like I put a lot of intention into like actually trying to help girls in the gym and help people with anxiety and that kind of thing. And then I started getting all these really nice messages. So I screenshotted them and I made this whole folder in my phone so that
Oh.
like anytime I do get hate comments. So like I guess I do have something that I do because I will go through them if I'm feeling shitty because I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, these people are so positive and like even if it was like months ago that they said this, like there was still some intention behind it and it still meant something to me that they actually like, it takes a lot to like message your favorite creators.
Yeah.
Like,
Especially if you don't know them, to be like to reach out, like it makes me stressed out. Like I remember when you messaged me and I was like, "Oh my God, are you serious?"
oh my God, that's so cute. I'm nervous to message anyone else. I'm
Right?
like, oh my God. But yeah, like it makes you, you're like, you took so much time to like write out that message to me. Like it was actually really sweet. And it's like, so I screenshotted them and now I have a whole folder. And so if I'm ever feeling shit, I'll just go through them and read them. And I'm like, this is so cute. Like this is so, it just makes me feel so good.
That is
So
nice. See, that's
yeah.
super cute. I do that in a really weird way, but I just do it with my boyfriend's picture, like text he sends me, and then when I'm sad, I can just read them. But that's
See,
a great idea too.
that's cute. I mean, anything works, whatever works. So now, okay, so now you're still on social media. Where are you going? Like, what's the vibe now?
Great question.
If you,
So then when I like lost weight and stuff, like for the last, I'll admit I am slacking right now. In my flop era, not actually, but you know what I mean. Like when you know that you could put in more effort. So that's what the goal is for the summer. So I stopped posting like like the fashion videos and stuff for a bit, and just kind of posted whatever. Like maybe I did like a boudoir photo shoot or something, and I would just post a photo of that or whatever. But then I realized that like that's not that inspiring, and I really do want to like help people and make people feel good again. So on my content, mostly what I've been posting lately is fun things to do in Calgary, because I'm still pretty new to the city. I've only been here for about a year and a half. So I like to show like different things I do as we go to places. So I like showing like I've shown my Botox girl. I've shown like little date nights that we do, or places that we visit. And I think that's really fun. So kind of lifestyle content while also sharing the like mid-size fashion, in knowing that I will likely at some point, my weight will fluctuate at some point probably. And so maybe that at some point again doesn't become as relatable, but at the moment it's something I'm enjoying doing, especially because I've seen a lot of people post like, have you seen the people post like workwear outfits and then they're in like mini skirts and crop tops, and I'm like, I could never wear that to the office. So I'm trying to like show like actual like one, cozy, comfortable, and still looking cute. I don't have like hundreds of thousands of dollars to go buy like fancy bags and stuff, or like be able to do a haul all the time, but I want to be creating like content where it's like I have like 5 pairs of pants, and here's what, like all the different outfits I can make with those 5 pairs of pants, because you don't always have to be buying things or like receiving PR, because the people who are like doing a lot of these fashion videos a lot of times are the ones who are getting paid to, or they're getting all of their clothes for free, right?
which
So,
is really okay. I think that's brilliant because 100%, like I even go on these like fashion girls pages. This is so fucking toxic. Oh my God. Like, why is this coming out right now? I go on their pages and I'm like, I feel awful because I can't, I mean, I'm not buying all this shit. Like, first of all I do is go to the gym. Why would I buy all this stuff? But also, like, most people can't fucking afford all that. Like, and they're not going to shop as much as these girls are. So, like, yeah, it's great that you're showing different outfits, but at the same time, like, lots of them are showing like completely different outfits all the time that you would have to buy everything for. So to have something like that, that's just like, okay, if I have one pair of pants, here's how I would style it, like multiple different ways, multiple different times. You could wear one fucking pair of pants every day to the office if you wanted to.
Yeah.
I don't really give a
one
shit.
pair of black
Like,
dress pants, you can make a bunch of outfits out of that. So
yeah,
like those are the kind of
exactly.
things I want to do there is
I love
inspire
that.
like people, like the average person to be able to like find outfits that fit them and like look good without spending a ton of money using things that you may even have in your closet. Like a lot of people have like basic black or white t-shirts or something, or a basic pair of jeans or like that kind of thing. And then me and my partner actually just created a joint account too, where it's new, it's very baby, like there's not a lot of followers there, but our plan for that is to do a lot of like traveling, camping, like hiking adventures, that kind of fun stuff. We really want to do outdoorsy fun content of us just like enjoying the outdoors and inspiring people to get outside, which is fun because I've never been an outdoorsy girl. When we met, I literally said to him, "You're outdoorsy and I'm not. Is this going to be a problem?" And he was like, "No, it's fine." And he's got me to like really embrace the outdoors a lot more. And I actually really enjoy it. It's something I'm like really excited about doing this summer. But I want to show people that like it's not too late to start doing those things. Like I'm 30. If I'm 30 and just learning how to hike, other people might want to do that too. So I really want to inspire people to like get outdoors, and it's not too late to ever start doing those things, and show like the fun date nights you can do for free, or do like little like bougie on a budget kind of ideas. Like this date
Yes.
night looks really expensive, but we were actually really cheap. This is what we did.
I love that. And even, okay, the hiking thing. I feel like everyone during COVID, like, I feel like most people, maybe not everyone, but like a lot of people turn to like fitness or like just like being outside and whatever. And I think we really realize like how important our fucking health is. So I think a lot of people would be into that just in the sense of like, people want to get outdoors and people want to go do shit now. So like I feel like that page is actually going to do probably pretty well. I've already stalked it a million times. Like I'm like I know what hikes I'm doing and I'm going to follow that shit because I feel like we need to go on more hikes and I never really know where to look. Like there's a couple apps and whatever, but I feel like I'm such a visual person that I'm like if I see someone go on that, I'm going.
Yeah, like if I see a good view,
know?
I'm like, "Jay, can we go there immediately?" And I'm like screenshotting it. I'm like, "We're going to this viewpoint because I will do anything for a good view. Like a good sunset view, especially, like count me in. I'll be there."
Yeah,
So
exactly.
I think that'll be really fun. Yeah, like the hikes, you're right. I think that people do care about their health, and especially like people are going to the gym and stuff more. And even that, like for example, I hate cardio. I think cardio is the stupidest thing ever. And I know it's not. I know it's good for me, but I hate it. But the only reason I'm doing like running and walking and stuff on my lunch break is because I'm like, I want to be able to hike great mountains. Like I want to be able to do like the 10, 20 kilometer hikes. So I'm going to need to get my cardio up. So it's kind of fun that like even just like doing those fun like date kind of activities has really inspired me to even get healthier and like improve my fitness. It's kind of fun.
That's cool. I
Yeah.
love that. And yeah, no, so many girls will relate to the cardio thing. I'll post a Snapchat and be like, oh my God, like girls do your cardio. And everyone's like, fuck you. I don't want to do my cardio. Like, it's so true. Nobody wants to do cardio. It's just like the worst thing ever. Um, yeah, but on the social media topic, so what advice would you give someone, or I mean, anyone listening? I feel like my followers are so fucking loyal. Love my
Fair.
followers. Love you guys. But if they were trying to start on social media, say they're trying to start a page, say just like your couple page or like your page in general, like what advice would you give them just for being on social media, maybe growing or
Of course. So first, keep in mind, I'm not a professional. Like I do it for fun. I'm not like the best
she's a
creator or anything.
professional listener. Just kidding.
But I'd say a couple things. One, like create content that you're actually proud of. Like don't just post to post. It's a waste of like your time. You're not going to enjoy the content. You're going to regret it later. Like create content that you're proud of and enjoy doing. I think having fun with it, people can tell. Like people can tell if you're like actually having a good time or if you hate what you're doing, I feel like. So if you like create content you enjoy, find like a niche that you really like, find what works for you. You're going to have to try a bunch of things, and then also like collaborate with other people, find other creators that you enjoy. you know, and actually engage with other people's work that you enjoy too. Like you can't just post and expect people to just like your stuff. Like I always like to like follow people back, and I like engaging with other people. And if like there's other creators that I love, I like telling them that. Like I want to be like, oh my gosh, you look great today, or that looks so much fun. I want to go there now. Like you really have to engage and create a community as well. So those would be my things. Yeah. Create good content, have fun doing it, actually build engagement and have fun engaging with other people.
Yeah. I love that. And actually liking your content. You're so right. And people can see through that shit. I feel like there's been times when like I've been posting. I don't know if you've ever felt this, but like sometimes I'll post and like I'll be going through like maybe I'm going through a hard time or something, and I'm just kind of posting because I'm like, fuck, like I've always posted on social media. Like I have to keep my brand alive. Like I have to be posting. And I feel like people can see right through that shit. Like
Yeah.
they know when it's like I
They're like, this
know
is not
you're not.
authentic.
Yeah. Like I know this isn't you.
And I guess that's another thing too. Be authentic about it. And like, depending on what kind of content you're creating, but like vulnerability is good too, but be authentic for sure. 'Cause
100%.
people will know if you're not.
Yes, 100%. Well, is there any last words that you want to say?
Not really. Just thank you so much for having me here. This is so much fun.
Oh, thank you. Thank you
No
for being
problem.
on the podcast. Honestly, it's been great. And yeah, thank you.
Thanks guys for listening.
Bye.
Bye.